Wow, going so far as to just blow a hole in the wall based on their trusting me to be what I say. When the dust clears, you see the familiar hall. The fool is fearfully hunched close to the cage in which you, or rather your body, is sitting. Your face is awash with tears, your lip is split, and a vox lies next to you. In a cage to the side stands Solomon, glaring through the bars at the true governor of Thessara. Upon seeing you and Glado, the proctor straightens. It seems he was just waiting for your return. Without taking his intent gaze from you, he gives you a slow nod. He is ready to fight. But how did you... The elevator. Damn it, why did you have to make all this commotion? Why couldn't you just sit in that cage out of the way and wait for the ritual to be completed? The fool looks back at the altar. Tavrisk, move! The psyker's cracked skin seems ready to crumble to dust, but his Desertium eyes burn with an otherworldly fire. The ritual is nearly complete, my lord. The altar of change is ready to irrevocably switch the threads of fate. You've stolen something from me, Geraldo. I have come to reclaim it. The conspiracy almost entertained me. Fine, I suppose I'll add this victory to my list of accomplishments. A psyker, return me to my body at once, and I will grant you an easy death. Lovely weather, is it not? Or lunge at Geraldo. Is now the time for the fight? We finally have the signal. I mean, part of me thinks I should. I just don't know if... Yeah, we're just gonna do it. Lovely weather, is it not? Geraldo casts a furtive glance out the window and lets out a hesitant giggle. Decide to show a little decorum, my celestial guest. It is a little late for that. The metal of the cage emits a piteous creak as Solomon slams his entire weight against the bars. Oh, that probably is bad for your ritual. And this might be worse. Hopefully that magically puts us back in our body. Nice animation there. Very true. They did a good job with that. You struggle to open your eyes. After the world has once again taken shape, you realize that you are standing in your own... staring at your own palms from your own eye sockets. You move a hand and each muscle responds gratefully, filling with warmth. The others watch you with a mixture of hope and dismay. Maeve, the real Maeve, looks at you through watering eyes. Myself again, it was so... She lacks the strength for anything more, and her body collapses to the ground. We lost combat algorithms. Why? That's a shame. I think that's what we had on Glado. Well done, Solomon. How did you know that would work? I assume he didn't. Any last words? Governor Geraldo, for the crimes of stealing my body from me, practicing heresy, and all-around monstrousness, you're hereby sentenced to death. Attack. Surrender now and confess everything, Governor. Perhaps then I will commit Solomon to kill you swiftly. Or all of you are going to pay for everything you've done to me. Well done, Solomon. How did you know that would work? I didn't. But the heretics were so obsessed with this lump of stone, I figured their sorcery would be ruined without it. I was worried that would leave me trapped in Maeve's body. The fact that ending it suddenly shifted me back to my body is unusually friendly of psychic rituals. Why did you not get out of the cage earlier? You could have. I doubt it. Loosening the cage's fastenings without being noticed proved to be quite difficult. Besides, without you and Glado there, the outcome would have been too unpredictable. I had no room for error. And there was one thing I knew for sure. Those implants and mine were exchanging data logs, which meant you were alive. So I waited. Okay. For the crimes of stealing my body from me and practicing heresy and all-around monstrousness, you are hereby sentenced to death. Attack. How dare you order anyone around in my own palace? Tavrisk, do it. Lord's destinies are already set in stone. As long as I live... something.
Prince of Mercy. Crush him!
Let's see if that statement is... My Lord's destinies are already set in stone. As long as I live, you cannot destroy them. And then there was another statement. Blood red sickle of the moon, will you grant me one last boon? Shadow whispered, fair and true, death is coming after you. Alright, getting into position. We'll move Cassia forward. We'll move ourselves forward. If we can't... Oh, right. I'm not with the rest of my party. Okay. These stone sentinels have an X centered on bluff. I don't know if that's an X that's just happening. Like if they're doing a power sharing between them and bluff happens to be in the middle. Or more likely, they're sending some sort of power to bluff. Difficulty 6. Bonds of Servitude 4, that's the 4 statues. For each stack of this effect, he gains 25% damage suffered, plus 25% damage dealt, plus 25% hit chance, and plus 1 movement point. So yeah, we gotta kill these statues fast. Last creature that dealt damage to Bluff, the Stone Sentinels, or Tavrisk becomes Bluff's priority target. If that creature's unconscious, a random enemy becomes his priority target. Once Bluff is killed, all the Stone Sentinels are destroyed. Okay. So, currently, he's taking minus 100% damage because of the statues. But theoretically, if I only killed a couple, I could still then kill him and it would just end the rest. What's the deal with the statues? I mean, good amount of wounds. Link in the chain, yeah. We knew about that, obviously. Immune to prone, fatigued, disturbed, perplexed, staggered, bleeding, and toxin. Force of the warp, mental damage. Cannot dodge, cannot be pushed. But it is able to be burned, and that is what matters. Okay, cool. Well, we're kind of just stuck in the middle, and that's fine, I suppose. Abelard. Oh, okay. Spawn of the highest favor. Fun. I wonder if I could actually line up a shot that hits like all of those with a Melta. Maybe that's the call. Let's try and see if I can blast through that. Abelard, I'll send you over here. Is Bluff focused on Abelard then? Just seeing this red line to Abelard wherever he stands strikes me as odd. Pascal, probably going to send you over to deal with some of these characters, if possible. Irliet, I'll have you back in some cover over here, maybe. That's not really cover with that guy there. Be back here. And then you... I'll have you up close. Blado can be beside you. Ish. That seems fine, I suppose. Right. I assume that Ignatius would be next to us, but of course he's not. That's Abelard.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Alright, we'll power ourselves up.
Me?
As usual.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
Light ourselves on fire. Okay. Orchestrate flame. Because this will probably take more than one round.
Not a problem for me.
And I doubt I can melt. No, I cannot. Good damage on these statues, though. Or I could potentially just take out the spawn of the highest favor, which might be better. When are you in turn order? Pretty soon-ish. These sentinels are... Oh, never mind. You're basically the end of the initiative. So you guys are the fists. Which one is first? You. So maybe I light you on fire.
Suits my purposes.
Alright, we'll call that good for our freebie turn. What can I do to get Cassia to get her momentum up? Obviously, I can use Inquisitor's Tenets if I need to. I could actually put her like here and then hit a lot without risking any of my people. Not thrilled that she's not in cover, but it's probably fine.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet, as duty demands.
Yeah, are you just gonna keep saying that same phrase over and over?
Another cloud painted black.
Alright, high momentum, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, we'll just
In the name
give
of
the turn to
House
Ignatius
Essay,
now.
I shall prevail.
So the question is, if I went like back here, is there an option where I can hit? No. If I was slightly closer, maybe? If I was there, can it reach to you? Seems to be a no. That statue is just barely out of my reach. There we go. Although then it's not showing that I'm hitting that statue. Yeah, if I'm trying to hit these, then he's not aiming near himself. That didn't do it. That was too far away. No, that's working. That hits everyone I wanted it to. Okay, perfect. So let's start with that.
Let's see how they respond to this.
Oh, are you unhappy? Did I just kill too many of your guys all at once? What a shame. So we can go with Revel and Slaughter, and then Run and Gun again.
Already done.
That'll allow me to reposition. Potentially be able to do a similar thing over on this side. Looks like I can't hit this guy as well, so I'm just hitting the two statues. Which is a minor shame. Oh well. Probably still good enough.
Not a problem for me.
Alright, so now you are free to be killed. Yes? Yeah. Perfect. Although I should also remember you. I don't want to forget you exist.
Suits my purpose. You didn't stand a chance.
Alright. You're dead. I can't see you from where I am. I don't think I can easily get to a position where that'll change. gonna have to somehow get up here, which is probably gonna take another turn. That gives me action points, but not movement. Same here. Alright, well, we've got tons of actions left. Let's just start killing. Best I can. Wow, you guys have 32 health? Okay, you guys have real amounts of health.
Nothing of value has been lost! Nothing I can't... Opposing me was your biggest mistake.
We do still have some other enemies up there. Just 32 health nobles. And there were some others over here. More 32 health nobles. Okay. And then you all the way in the back that I'm assuming I can't hit. Barely out of reach. Well, I can probably fix that. If I took a step forward. Yeah, that puts you in
I
reach.
shall not fear. You didn't stand a chance.
I could hit you, which would take out one of them. 'Cause these ones are going to be easily taken out by Pascal, or I could send Pascal up here to work on you. If I took them out first. Alright, we'll do that. Pascal can run super far. Actually, I can do both. If I do this, I get one more free attack.
Already done. Nothing of value has been lost.
Alright. Oh, I still have another free attack. Can't target you. I can hit you.
Problem for me. You didn't stand a chance.
Alright. I think that's roughly all I can do.
Nothing I can't do.
Bit of a dash just to get a little farther. Seems fine. Alright, back to Cassia. I don't think there's anything meaningful she could do. She could put down some of the places on the ground.
I'll do what it takes.
What did you do? Siphon life. You healed 6 wounds. I mean, great, I suppose. Well done. And you left your cover. Huh. That's certainly a choice. If I moved you forward... Nope, you lose line of sight on him from there. That works. We'll go with perfect spot. Not that it overly matters, but it's a thing. Mark him as prey. He's the only real enemy still in the fight. Pull the bold, piercing shot.
If I must.
Does give hit chance, but I don't think that matters. I mean, 10% hit chance would raise my chances slightly. Yeah. Sure, why not?
Serves your cause. Favors the swift.
And then claim the bounty. Perfect.
Another soul slips beyond the veil.
I guess you still have theoretically some more actions. Sure, I'll mark you as prey, as dumb as it is, and then have her take a shot on you. Just to end the fight on the third person's turn.
I did that.
In the ensuing silence, a gurgling snicker becomes clearly audible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see our guest is 2 alive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start the gutting, start the fun. The ugly shambles that is Rualdo's face dissolves into a semblance of a smile. Cease your inane mutterings. You may open your mouth when you are asked a question, and your answer had better be honest and to the point, or I swear by the Lex I will make you speak, or rather, whatever remains of you after I finish preparing you for interrogation. Are there any other victims of your ritual? Acertium, what are its properties? What was the point of the whole masquerade with the fake governor? When you talk about your plan, what was your goal here? Are there any other victims of your ritual? That survived? No, I didn't count the dead. The ritual is a complex one to perform, so it took Tavrisk and me a long time to calibrate it, and you were the one it worked on. To think of all the possibilities that opened up. Using the Altar of Change, I could have worked my way up to Lord of Terra. What are you talking about? The very suggestion. The Proctor's voice resounds with fury. His steely fingers dig into Glado's collar. You sick degenerate. As my father used to say, if you've come a long way, keep going. I'm a dead man as it is, so I might as well dream a little. Acertium, what are its properties? This wretched little world held nothing worthy of attention, save for Acertium. When I started having dreams about it, and about changing bodies, I thought I was going insane. And I shared this with my sculptor, the now late Tavrisk. He helped me to understand the essence of the mineral. Experiments and studies followed, mostly carried out by Tavrisk. I don't have his gift, but oh, the things I could do if I were a sorcerer. In the end, he realized that Acertium was a potent psyfocus. After 1,000 cursed attempts, and a combination of powers, energies, and sacrificial victims, Tavrisk managed to create his finest sculpture from it, the Altar of Change. Magnificent artifact, a door to eternity. No more limitations imposed by our mortal bodies, no ailments, no injuries. If your flesh is worn, just swap it for a new flesh. Don't like it? Your lot in life, choose from 1,000 others. No longer just a dream, but its most perfect realization, immortality in stone. What a monstrously twisted notion of eternity. What was the point of the whole masquerade with the fake governor? The governor attracts too much attention, and I wanted my hands to stay untied. So I offered my court fool a fair bargain. He would become me, ruling the planet, living the good life, getting whatever he wanted, while I would be out there, flying toward the stars. We traded faces, clothes, and lives, and because I had gotten the local nobles into the habit of sewing other people's mugs on their heads, the switch went unnoticed. But the switch was only the first part of the deal. Naturally, I didn't mention the second part, the removal of witnesses. If someone is going to turn against you, the moment there's a knife at his beloved sister's throat, you can't afford to keep him alive. Grotto cast a hateful glance in Maeve's direction. I want to talk about your plan. What was your goal here, Raldo? The plan was simple and elegant. Thessera starts underpaying its tithe. The Arbites swallow the bait and send their messengers here. That's when I spring my trap and change body into the body of an arbitrator or proctor who lands here, pack up the altar, board an Arbites ship, and wave goodbye to this ball of dirt swinging in the void. A rogue trader would have been even better, but greed has a way of spoiling a good game of regicide. Of course, this game involved one key piece. The embodiment of freedom of choice, my magnificent altar. So much accumulated potential for years of experimentation. It is damaged, but it still beckons, waiting to be used. Grotto looks you in the eye with a caustic smile. I advise you to keep it safe. Who knows how many thousands of lives it will claim if something happens to it, unleashing all that power. Requires heretical. There's some heretical option that we don't have access to. I've learned all I need to know. You may execute the heretic, Solomon. Since you're done, Solomon points his weapon. Grotto, you have committed unthinkable heresy, and I refuse to acknowledge you as a human being or read your verdict as befitting a criminal. You are a stain on Thessera's history, and it is time to wipe you from it. Although he executes the governor quickly, you see a fleeting expression of absolute disgust, perhaps even hatred, pass over the proctor's face. Maeve opens her eyes and immediately jumps to her feet at the sight of the bloodied corpse. She clenches her hands on her chest, and her eyes well up. He's not your brother, Maeve. Pull yourself together. You can cry for your traitorous brother later. Not anything, Solomon. He was not your brother, Maeve. The young woman nods meekly, and a single tear runs down her cheek. Her voice is hollow when she speaks. You're right. He was the one who doomed him. Found anything, Solomon? Yes, the data slate with the shipment chronicle that they spent so much time vainly searching for. According to the records, the tithe period is 1 Terran decade, and the quota prescribed is 1,000 cargo units. The governor withheld 100 units from each of the 5 most recent shipments. That means the world has no actual difficulty regularly supplying its tribute. We can consider that matter settled. Deciding what to do with the Thesertium is far more important. It is a resource we cannot afford to ignore. Someone looks at you straight in the eye. I propose destroying all of the Thesertium already mined, as well as its deposits. Allowing an abomination like that to exist is against the Lex. As for assessing the degree of Thesera's corruption and deciding its fate, the law prescribes leaving this to the judgment of the world's owner, that is, the Administratum. Dare I remind you, Lord Captain, that no one besides you has any knowledge of the mineral's properties. If it is left here, no one will find out. What a crafty way to paint me as a mindless henchman. Let me also remind you that I report directly to the Marshal, and my reports are thorough. Dogmatic. This world is beyond saving, its very bowels exude heresy. I hereby order the immediate destruction of all Thesertium and declare exterminatus on the planet. The Administratum will be given time to evacuate its property, after which Thesera will be cleansed by fire. Wow. Let's do it your way, Solomon. If that is the solution the Lex Imperialis demands, then I fully concur. Yeah, I think just destroying the resource is fine. I don't think the general populace needs to be killed. Though we do need to go through the effort of stopping all of their heresy, that, like, false beliefs and whatnot that they've had going on. Iconoclast, I agree that we must get rid of the Thesertium, but I will not inform the Administratum of its properties. It may result in the planet's destruction, and we cannot have innocents suffer because of Geraldo's misdeeds. Or the Thesertium has been useful for wicked ends, but that does not mean it cannot be useful. We must study the mineral thoroughly before deciding whether to destroy it, or include it in the tithe. See, there's something to that. If I was playing the more iconoclast option, the idea of we found a psychically powerful stone, surely it can be used for something useful. Making, you know, more impressive psi focuses, or whatever. Who knows? Reticle, such a valuable material, such incredible possibilities. I hereby order Thesertium to be added to the planet's tithe. The Imperium must obtain as much of this marvelous stone as possible. We're gonna go with the second dogmatic. Let's do it your way, Solomon. If that is the solution the Lex Imperialis demands, then I fully concur. Thank you, Rogue Trader. That is the right choice. Maeve looks up at you pleadingly. My celestial lord, what am I to do now? And not a sliver of remorse, just fear for our own skin. Do not be swayed by a criminal's tears. I've seen plenty of those, and they are worth nothing, or I should say, not worth more than a bullet. What can you do? Thesar needs a new governor, one we can trust. Are we talking about making her the new governor? Because that's an interesting choice. You're coming with me. I'm taking you with me. You will join the ranks of the ship's servitors. Wow. Solomon Executor. Wow. What you do next is your business, Maeve. I will not interfere with your fate. What can you do? I can brew recaf. I can do sweet with a foam of cream, or strong with special spices. I can dance, sing, carry scrolls and data slates. I mean, I'm not saying we're going to make Maeve the governor, just stating a general fact that Thesar needs a new governor, one we can trust. Please, not me, anyone but me. Who would listen to a court upstart who used to be a chamber pot maid? Maeve blushes profusely as she realizes she has said too much. You'll learn as you go. I'm leaving you in charge. Relax, you'll serve whatever governor I point from among people whose loyalty I can trust, and you'll report their every movement to me. It's fair. Yeah, I'm gonna appoint someone who is fit to be a governor, not a random servant who has not trained for that post. But I want you to report to me. As you wish, my celestial lord. Then Thesaurus' fate is decided, and there is no point in staying here any longer. A heretic mentioned that destroying the altar would risk deaths among the local population. Whether he was lying or trying to manipulate us is irrelevant. The abomination must be destroyed. As for any casualties, the Emperor will know his own. It's true. Anyone who is a casualty of that is someone who's gone through this horrible ritual. And I'm not that afraid of their deaths. Like, you can just look around this room that they clearly would have had to have been in and just see cultish things everywhere. So, yeah, if people die, they were probably already cultists anyway. As you approach the damaged altar, you feel an unpleasant weakness. You hear a faint ringing in your ears, as if the smooth surface of the stone is groaning from the wounds it has suffered. Dogmatic, destroy the altar. The sacred fire of my ship's orbital cannons will raise the palace to the ground before this cursed artifact can corrupt another soul. Iconoclast, bury the altar. We'll fill this abomination with tons of ferrocrete and hide it as best we can, and then it won't hurt anyone else. Something heretical that we don't have an access to, or this is not my problem. We are leaving this planet immediately. Destroy the altar. The altar, this whole palace, just burn them to the ground. The new governor can build a new palace. But there's been far too much heresy in this entire palace. As you look up at the altar, the ringing in your ears intensifies for a moment. Rupturing your eardrums, the altar roars, threatening, promising to take thousands more with it, but you are deaf to its pitiful threats. You are interrupted by an anxious voice from the box. Lord Captain, do you read? The shuttle pilot reported the rescue operation, and forces are on their way. What is your status? Are you alive? Come in. I'm alive, Vigilus. Prepare to depart, or I've had a difficult day, Vigilus. Get me out of this blasted hole. I'm alive, Vigilus. Prepare to depart. Copy, Lord Captain. A moment of ringing silence, and then 1,000 shards pierce your mind. A familiar voice coils around your thoughts, drowning them out. Are you leaving without even conversing with me, child? Without even asking yourself how such a vivid soul managed to remain intact after wandering in the darkness's embrace and donning another's guise? Such rare luck for a mortal. Who is speaking to me? How such a vivid soul managed to remain intact after wandering in the darkness's embrace and donning another's guise. So there's some other force that claims to have kept us safe during that time. In the icy silence, you are struck with a series of incredible lifelike recollections. You are not alone, and you never were. It was always there, in your shadow, in your blood, inside you. Yes, Ignatius, this luck is named the Edge of Daybreak. Had it not been for my sleepless gaze, your mind would have long since joined the mournful host of those who are no more. It was I who kept it whole and unharmed, for I could not allow such a radiant destiny to fall to some absurdity. But at times I do wonder, is it worthy of my protection? Dogmatic, you are nothing but a worm in the shadow of the Golden Throne. Reveal yourself to me and let us fight. Or is hiding like a coward in the back of a person's thoughts all you're capable of doing? Iconoclast, I need no protection, demon. People are stronger than you think. Or heretical, my gratitude will not be long in coming, master. Ha! Obviously not that one. You're nothing but a worm in the shadow of the Golden Throne. Reveal yourself to me and let us fight, or is hiding like a coward in the back of a person's thoughts all you're capable of doing? There it is, the ingratitude and obliviousness of the insects that are calling themselves humanity. I have no corporeal body that can be slain, child. All of time belongs to me, as does every thread in the tapestry of destinies. I need but touch one of them. You feel sharp pain and a trickle of blood runs down your temple. A taste of grim solemnity permeates the silence of your unseen interlocutor. But I am generous. I give my chosen children time to understand. And their time is so fleeting. The echo of the entity's voice lingers for a while, like the sound of distant thunder. Well, let's loot all the things, as always.
Done.
The shard of the monstrous structure emits a barely perceptible ringing sound, or is it the whispers of otherworldly voices telling of change? Biomancer's staff. We'll keep it just in case it'll help Heinrichs, maybe.
None shall stand in my way.
Heavy maul that has a skull on the end of it. Probably not. Whenever they hit the target with a maul, they immediately make a shield bash against that target. If it hits the target, must pass a toughness resistance test, or become stunned for 1 round. Probably not. Circles have been scrawled over whole stacks of scrolls. Each circle resembles the one daub on the floor, but none replicates it exactly. Clear lines of the heretical symbols elicit a vague desire to touch them. Do not touch the weird, corrupt symbols. That is bad. Just a basic greatsword. Don't need that.
Follow my lead.
Some more goods. Did you find something, Glado? No? Nothing over here. Alright, then the far side. Just to make sure we don't miss anything.
We should deal with this.
Come on. There we go. Alright, and you. Definitely want to search your body. Cruel Fate. It's a 2-handed solid projectile. Whenever this weapon gains 75% over penetration. Whenever the wielder scores a critical hit, they regain 1 action point. 25 to 30. It's not bad. Range is okay. Sure. I will replace my sniper rifle I've had the entire game with that. Slightly shorter range, but more power. Let's go back to the void ship and blow up this palace. Alright. And I think that is... yeah, that's that DLC done. No, we need to report back to Dargonus. Okay. Do we keep exploring here before we report back? Dargonus is just here, isn't it? Yeah. Let's go back to Dargonus, and then we can come back up here and keep exploring. Because I don't know how much farther this might branch out. It's possible it stops at those, or maybe it'll just keep going for a while. Enemies of humanity have been spotted aboard, warp beasts, blah blah blah. We no longer have holy gifts, so let's give military gear. We could do the fight ourselves, but I don't care enough. The victory over the rogue trader's enemies came at a high price. Still, the decks have been cleansed of warp spawn, albeit it took the blood of hundreds of voidsmen to wash away evidence of their presence. Alright. Order the monsters to be banished with faith and prayer. Lastly, let's get up here to Dargonus. So we've got this event, rather. Navy feud. So we'll first see what's going on with that. feud has broken out between two influential admirals of the Imperial Navy. Having already led to armed skirmishes and even outright battles, calling to attention a favor he once did for House von Valencius, one of the admirals has appealed to the rogue trader's colony for support. We could shelter him, giving us +2 security. We could spend 3 plasteel, of which we have plenty, getting +4 security. Provide him with the materials for ship repairs. We could gain 4 security to support him with all the resources the colony has, which will reduce efficiency, or at least costs having a certain amount of efficiency. I'm never quite sure exactly what that means, whether that's actually going to spend the efficiency or deny him help, giving us 3 profit factor. I'll spend the plasteel. Not that I need the security, but I don't want to potentially spend efficiency. And I might as well. Provide him with the materials for ship repairs. The Admiral appreciates the assistance, which has exceeded his every expectation. From now on, his ships will watch over the colony. Gained or lost 3 plasteel. Wait, colony reward gained 3 plasteel. I thought we spent 3 plasteel to gain 4 security. I'm confused. And then this is informing the outcome. Yep, I think the same team is fine. Definitely need Solomon there.